Hey everyone, it's Stephanie and welcome back to my channel. If you hear noises, I have Oliver down here. But today I'm here to bring you another Women in Translation review for Heaven by Miyako Kawakami and translated by Samuel Bett and David Boyd. This is my second Kawakami. I read Breasts and Eggs earlier this year. Sir, I am trying to film a review. And it was a very, very good look at motherhood and women in society. Heaven is brutal. We follow a nameless teenage boy who is being bullied, he thinks, because of his lazy eye. And his bullies have given him the nickname Eyes. And the book opens with him receiving a letter from a girl in his class, Kojima, and she is being bullied by the girls for the way she smells, and she doesn't shower or practice good hygiene. So we follow their relationship, and as they write letters back and forth and get to know each other and kind of connect over the bullying that they both go through and endure. And Heaven comes from a scene when Kojima and our protagonist are talking, and Kojima wants him to see this painting, and she said the title is really boring, but it's a beautiful painting, and she thinks it's heaven, and so that's what they refer to it as, and they talk about going to heaven. But in reality, the world they live in is just hell. And I honestly cried multiple times through this book. It's only 170-ish pages, but just the brutality of the bullying just killed me. And we're in this protagonist's head. We see everything from his perspective. It's very raw. It's very unsettling, but I feel like it's very grounded in reality. It's set in the early 90s in Japan, and he doesn't tell anyone about this bullying. His parents don't know, the teachers don't know, or maybe overlook some of it. So he's just kind of suffering in silence day after day. And I consider myself to be an empath, and this was just brutal for me. But I think it's such a genius book because I went into this thinking we would really follow the relationship of our protagonist and Kojima, and that their friendship would develop and we'd go on that path. But really what she did was subvert my expectations, and we really look at bullying and why this is happening and how it affects the bullied and the bullies. And it was really emotional, even though I wasn't really bullied. I was just kind of a quiet kid, and I had my group of friends, and that was that. But I know that a lot of people just get relentlessly bullied, and it's brutal. And the things that these kids did in this book were horrific. And I cannot imagine being that cruel to another human being. It was really tough. And it's something that was very unsettling and is going to stick with me. And it was very thought-provoking. She also has in this book kind of a nihilistic, Nietzsche-esque view of it is what it is. Not the author herself, but the characters in this book have a very nihilistic view of this, and it is what it is. If you don't like it, do something about it. And there's a whole conversation on it with a character that was just incredibly thought-provoking, but incredibly disheartening. The writing is fantastic. I read this in a day. It's very short. But the writing, even though it's pretty simple, it's very nuanced, and every word is purposeful. So I don't feel like there were any filler scenes or wasted lines. It was very compact and succinct and gripping. I really think that our two protagonists, our unnamed male protagonist and Kojima, they're such good characters because they're relatable, but they're flawed. They're not perfect characters. And in middle school, that time of everyone's life, you're still learning about life and handling your emotions and coping with hard things. So even though some of their reactions and thoughts kind of feel extreme as an adult, I feel like as a middle schooler, that would have been so incredibly accurate. And I think we forget that a lot as adults, that everything is so incredibly intense at that time because you just don't have experience. You're learning, you're still growing, your brain is still growing, you're still developing your personality, and hormones on top of that. It's just the perfect storm of chaos. So even though they are flawed, I feel like they're so relatable, and they're such little cinnamon rolls, and I just wanted to protect them, and you can't. And even though you know what's happening, you can't stop it, and it's brutal. It's so brutal. So I really appreciated that even though these protagonists are unlikable at times, I feel like they were very honest protagonists, and protagonists that you would meet at some point in your life. So I really, really appreciated the philosophical approach to this, and I feel like she just kind of presents you with this narrative and allows you to just see this completely raw, unfiltered view of what it's like to be so brutally bullied, and allows you to think about it for yourself and really come to your own conclusions. I think it was just genius. I hate to use the word I loved it because it was so hard, but I love the way that she crafted this, and I'm in awe of the talent that it takes to craft this, and the talent it takes the translators Sam Bett and David Boyd to translate this. The translation was very smooth, very easy to read, just brilliant. So I will say this is very triggering. So if you're sensitive to bullying, abuse, suicidal thoughts, trauma, gaslighting, things like that, I would make sure you're in the right headspace before you read this, because I can definitely see it being extremely triggering to people, or if you're a parent that has children, I mean, I can see that being triggering as well. So just keep that in mind going into it. And if you don't think you're in the right headspace, save it for when you are. But if you do read it, I really, really hope that you get as much out of it as I did. And if you have read it, please let me know. I have definitely fallen in love with Mieko Kawakami's writing, and I'm very much looking forward to reading more of her works, because both of the ones I have read have been brilliant and stunning and just really stay with me and really just make me look at life through a different lens, which I think is so rewarding from literature from other cultures that are different from your own. So if you have read it, please let me know, or if you think you want to read it, let me know. If you have any questions about trigger warnings, I'm absolutely happy to answer them. If you'd like to leave an emoji, leave a pink emoji of your choice down below. As always, if you liked this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up and click the subscribe button if you'd like. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see you guys next time. Bye.